Hello, hi everyone. Welcome back to my channel. This is a new series which we are starting, that is cloud series. So we will be covering the evolution of telecom network from traditional towards cloudification. That what all steps are needed, how it's getting evolved there, and we will try to cover as much information as possible in every module. So we will be doing it module wise, so that because it's not possible to cover in a single presentation, so that's why we will be covering by module. And so this is our first module of this series, so let's start. Right. So if you we all know that we have a traditional network in telecom. So how the traditional network works in telecom is like that. Suppose we have E node B here, then that E node B is connected with the MME, you can say, right, MME, and then S gateway and P gateway, like this. All entities are connected in this. So this is not traditional network. Traditional network has a few limitations, like that first of all, it is hardware and vendor specific, like hardware and software properties there. Suppose we have E node B of a particular vendor, suppose the vendor is A, then the software and hardware both have to be of that vendor only. It cannot be, it's not possible that where we have the hardware from A vendor and software from B vendor. That's not possible. We have to keep the hardware and software of the same vendor in this traditional network, right? And over that if we have to make, suppose the E node B is of A vendor and MME is of B vendor, then also we have to do some testing. It's not that compatible. We have to do have to perform or check the interworking between two vendors. So these traditional models are very much proprietary based. That hardware and software propriety is there for a vendor. So this is how. So that's why we are when we move towards cloudification. So let's see what happens in cloudification and how it is done. So if we see the first step, right, this is the traditional network. So the first step towards cloudification, then the second, this is the traditional network, and the second thing we can say that virtualization, sorry, we can say it virtualization. So what happens in virtualization, that these functions like MME, S gateway, P gateway, these functions can be virtualized. So how they can be virtualized? That suppose we have hardware here, and this is hardware, and this is VNF. We can say VNF, and this is virtualized network functions. So if it is MME, suppose it is MME function that has been virtualized, and this is again MME. So here this is a very basic. So here what happens, that this pooling is not there. These are separate virtual functions. So this pooling is not there. They are in silos. So these are some few you can say limitations of this virtualization, that it enables the consolidation by making application on hardware to run on generic hardware was there. So the VNF functions, VNF can be run on generic hardware. This is one advantage of virtualization. Okay, just so on single hardware they used to run one virtualized network functions. So it was the just very on the very initial stage was there of towards cloudification. So these all functions, the VNF, were or are in silos, and they don't interact with each other too much. Interact means in terms of pooling and all. They don't share the resources. So this is the first step. This is the limitation of virtualization, that this was the first step towards cloudification. The third one, now the third step comes, that is the cloudification. Cloudification of network. So how it is done? That suppose it is hardware, so it is a bit more, you can say the more evolved or better version of virtualization. It is hardware. So this is you can say application. It can be MME or whatever application is there, S gateway or P gateway, whatever function or application is there. So the cloudification is a better that automation was introduced. So automation comes into picture with this step. So automation, here the resources can be shared. Suppose this is MME. This is also MME, suppose, in case. Yeah. So here the resources can be shared with each other. So this is a bit more evolved function of virtualization. Automation comes into picture. So with automation, the application flexibility, scalability, so is much better in this. Third step, cloudification, when the things are cloudified. And there is a manager, you can say cloud manager is there. So here it comes that this is the, sorry, I forgot to tell you, this is cloud layer. This is cloud layer. So this is hardware, cloud layer, and over cloud layer there are applications or various any network entities, we can say MME, core entity, CU, DU, or whatever, VCU, VDU, all kind of entities could be there. So there is a cloud manager that manages or the life cycle of the application or the automation. So this cloud, after this step, the flexibility and scalability are very dynamic. They can be on the run. Whenever there's a requirement of scalability, it gets scaled. So this is the third step, is you can say a very good evolved version of cloud. So this is the third step. And the fourth step is if you can say it's a cloud native. So it's cloud native any. So in cloud native, it is a better version of cloud. Better version of cloud means that suppose this is hardware. This is hardware. This is cloud layer. These are apps. So in this cloud native, the application come in the form of microservices. They come in the form of microservices. Second one, that DevOps comes into picture. The third one is that whatever applications they are called the applications, those are orchestrated or catered on this, they are called CNF, cloud network functions. So this is a bit more refined or better evolved version of cloud. It is more hardware independent. It's easy to deploy on any IT infrastructure, on any IT infra or data center. So this is the fourth one, the cloud native NE. So these are the 4 evolution steps from traditional network towards cloudification. So to summarize, if we see, the first one is traditional network. Then traditional network, traditional NE we can say. Then the second one is virtualization. This is the first step towards cloudification. And the third one is we can say the cloudified NE, virtualization NE, that is called VNF. We say this VNF, virtualized network functions. There are some limitations of this. Then the third one is cloudified NE. So it is a better version of cloud, virtualization. So here automation comes into picture, and applications are better programmed. Then the cloud native form. The cloud native has the application in the form of microservices. Here, if you will see, just a moment. Yeah, here they have in the form of microservices. Then DevOps comes into picture. The applications are called CNF, cloud network functions, and this is more hardware independent. So this is the most the fourth one is the most refined version, you can say, of cloud, the cloud native NEs. So this is how the evolution from traditional network towards cloudification can be done. So this is also nowadays what happening, that all CSPs are having so they may be at this stage, and they may be at this is the most advanced form. So slowly the CSPs will evolve their networks towards cloudification. So that's all for module 1. So we'll come up with further some other topic, next topic for cloud.